Hello everyone, welcome back to another Diamond Pool League 10 ball drill. Firstly, I would like to make a big shout out to my new shirt sponsors, Onboards Sportswear. You can check them out on Facebook, Instagram and their website, onboardsportswear.com. Also now the official shirt sponsor for all the Matchroom pool events, so that's great news for everyone. Definitely the best shirts on the market, so if you haven't got one or you don't know where they are, just go and check them out. Also, I'm playing with a new cue. I've got the True Splice 16 Predator, brand new 314 2 shaft radial pin, and the trusted Tiger Pro sniper tip. Definitely the best tips on the market. Yep, so let's get to the 10 ball drill. Right. It's not the most difficult drill, but it's a really good pattern drill, especially for intermediate players and amateur players, even pros really. So for the guys under a Fargo Rate of 500, the rules is that you must go in rotation, but you can take the balls in any pocket. Start with ball in hand. For the guys over 500, start with ball in hand, but you can't take any of the balls in the side pockets. So that's the golden rule. So for example, the guys over 500, the 1, 3, 5 and 7 must go in this corner or the bottom corner there, and the 2, 4, 6, 8 must go in this corner or the bottom right hand corner there, and the 9 and 10, they can go in any corner pockets also. So really good drill. I'll do a demonstration with commentary, explaining what I'm going to do on every shot. So I'll be talking you through it, so you can get in my mind and what I'm thinking. And like I said, playing the pattern play is very important and thinking ahead. So let's give it a go. Right then guys, let's give it a go. So I'm going to do the over 500 Fargo rating version. Remember, for you guys under 500, you can have the rule where you can take the balls in the side pockets. But the number one rule is that you can't bump another ball. So you start with ball in hand, and the first shot here, I'm going to demonstrate or tell you what I see a lot from amateur players and league players. They'll just get ball in hand, for example, this sort of situation, obviously not the exact same situation, but I see it all the time. They'll make the one ball, because you're just playing the first shot you see and think, oh, I'm guaranteed shape on the 2 ball, but then you've got to think about the next ball. So in rotation, it's very important to think at least 3 shots ahead. It's vital. And if you've got balls where there's problems, clusters, then you've got to attack them early, and you've got to plan even further ahead. So you've always got to think about the right shots, the right angles to leave for like 2 or 3 shots in front. So, like I said, the first mistake I do see a lot is that they'll make the one ball, come off the side rail and leave the white ball here. So what happens then is that they've got to make this 2 ball, come off this side rail and come across here for the 3 ball in the corner. But the problem with that, when you're coming from this angle here off this rail to play into that area, it's such a small area to play into. And usually they land short like this, leaves no shot, or they go long, leave no shot, or I see it a lot where they scratch in the side pockets. And the key to rotation and pattern play is to take the side pockets out of play. It's vital. So the right shot here is to play the 1 ball, come off the side rail with a touch of left, and come here with a cue ball. The other option, you can put the white ball here, for example, and come round the back of the 2 ball. That's okay also. So first shot here, I'm just going to play just with maybe a quarter of left English, and an eye on the cue ball. The key is not baby it and snook yourself behind the 9 ball, and also to not over it the cue ball and snook yourself behind the 4. So left a nice little angle there on the 2 ball. If I come a little bit further, for example, I'll probably make the 2 ball and come around the back of the 3, but don't have to do that either. I can just roll it in and play for the 3 in this corner. Or I could just play 1 rail and come in between the 4 and the 9 for the 3. Don't really like that, because if you don't hit it good, you might come too short, might bump into the 9 ball. So I'm going to keep it very simple and try and land here with the cue ball. So I want to try and leave a little angle on the 3 ball. So I'm just going to play just this with an air of left, so that's like maybe less than a quarter of a tip of left, and just eye on the cue ball. And hopefully guarantee that angle. Where if I play with more left there, and leave myself straight in, then it's very difficult then to get shape on the 4-ball to the corner. Would have liked a little bit more angle than what I've left here, but should be okay. But if I just roll this ball with follow, I'm going to come off the side rail and bump the 5-ball, so that's no good. So I sort of need to, it's like a punch run through. So I'm trying to demonstrate it and explain it. So here I'm just playing above the white ball, but you're playing this pretty firm, so you've got to really trust it. Just like that. Probably gone a bit further than what I would have liked, but didn't play any English on the cue ball there. So now I've landed really funny, it's just off straight. So if I just follow this off the 2 rails, there's a good chance of kissing the 9-ball. And not enough angles to try and punch it off the side rail. But if I really overspin the ball, I can maybe get the cue ball here. 1, 2 and come here. Not a massive fan of that either, because obviously I've got to play the balls in the corners. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it very simple, and I'm just going to singe this ball. Like, if I hit this ball full in the face, it's aiming here. So what I mean by that is that I've just got to pinch this ball. So I might even touch the rail first with a 4-ball, but because I'm like killing the cue ball, it makes the pocket a lot bigger, and I just want to try and leave the white ball there also. So that's how we try, just singe it. So low on the cue ball. Is it really good? So even though I slightly cut the 4-ball in there, the white ball didn't move, so that's what we call like just singeing the ball, just pinching the pocket, and just killing the white ball. So now it's just 2 options for this shot. You can possibly top it with a touch of left, come this way, for the 6 and a side. It's not a terrible option. You can just roll it in with a touch of right. Don't drop the chalk on the table. I've done that before. That's the only downside with a round shaped chalk, is that it can roll on the table and foul. So like I said, I could roll this ball just with a touch of right and try and come here. But that requires a really good speed control shot. The other option is to punch it in, go 1, 2 rails and back out here. And I'm sort of liking that shot better. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to play. So I'll just look at my angle. So I'm just going to play this with just with a touch of right, so it's like maybe a 1/4 tip, and just below centre of the cue ball. Played it nicely. Couldn't have played that much better actually. So again here you've got 2 options. You can punch it in and come across like this, or you can just kill it like like I did before, just killing the white ball and just float across here. Depends how you're feeling. If you're feeling really confident, you just punch it in, I guess. If you're not feeling great, you might just want to kill it. But I'm going to try and punch it in just with a touch of right. Just like so. Didn't hit it as well as what I would have liked. Didn't get into the cue ball as much as what I would have liked. But my excuse there is that I've not been playing too much, so I'm not in the best of strokes yet. So here I've got quite a bit of an angle on the 7-ball. I can come around the back of the 8, but I've got to get into the cue ball quite a little bit. Got to be careful to not get into it a lot and sort of come here with a white ball and not leave a shot on the 8. The other option is just play with a touch of right, follow on the cue ball, just check it up off the short rail and come here for the 8-ball, which or you could risk just missing the 8-ball and coming back out here, but don't really like that. So I'm just going to play us with a touch of right. That's the problem when you're stretching like that, you just don't really get the same feel, so that's why I've landed a bit funny here. Not really funny with regards making the 8-ball, but I mean the cue ball, I would have liked it there really, then I could have just got over the table to make the 8-ball, so it's not a big problem for me because I'm pretty good with a bridge. For the guys in the UK we call it the rest. So this shot here, nothing fancy, but you've got two options. You can play with follow, with a touch of right, short rail, side rail, and back out for the 9, which I'm going to play. But if you don't like that, you can punch it in with a touch of right, go 1, 2 rails, and come this way. But I'm going to stick with the first option here, just a touch of right, eye on the cue ball. And guarantee myself a shot on the 9 ball. I've got just enough angle here. I wouldn't really like to punch this ball in because the angle's not great. So I'm just going to play this 1 rail, just eye on the cue ball. Probably play just a hair off left on the cue ball there. So just make the 10 ball, just punch it in. Just punch the 10 ball in. The reason why I do that, because if I just roll that ball in, there's a chance of it skidding and you can miss it fat. So that's my advice. When you get on the money ball to win the game, unless it's bang straight, I won't really advise trying to roll balls in. So just give them like a little punch shot or 80 hard with punch. But really good drill, very good pattern drill. And like I said, you're not always going to land perfect, so it's important to be creative. But if you play the right angles and play into the right areas, it makes the game a lot easier. And that way you haven't got to be perfect. So just playing into the right areas is key. And then it's a lot easier to get out of trouble and get back in shape also. So it's a really nice drill. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all give it a go and you can make it. And we'll see you soon for another one.